So, today I was reading about how extrinsic motivations can actually have a negative effect sometimes and in some specific cases, especially when you have to be very creative. And one of the things that um, was like amazing or crazy is, for example, if your kid has to take the trash outside, of the house. If you offer that kid money, then it's guaranteed that this person will never do it again for free. So if you do that, you're basically fucked because they become addictive and they become expected. So next time, it's still going to cost you money. And at some point, that money will not be enough, and this kid will want even more because it doesn't have the same effect anymore. And this goes in a lot of things in our lives. I can think right now about maybe drugs or porn. They are addictive, but the effect it has, it becomes less and less every time. So, like, it feels smaller, like lesser, the reward. So you'll want even more to feel the same way. And you end up wanting more and more and more. And with drugs, with porn, it's never good. It's never good to want more. You know what I mean? And the fact is not the same anymore. And I was thinking about this, and when I was like finishing high school, like 10th grade, something like that. I would even say like 11th grade. That's when you finish in Colombia. And I remember at some point I got used to getting these prizes or whatever. But when you were the best student, they will give you like some shit like and make you like stand in front of all of the fucking school. And I don't know, like the first time it's like, oh my god, wow. But you keep getting that shit. I remember at some point I wouldn't go to school those days. Like I I didn't want it to like I was like, nah, why this shit, like I don't want people to stare at me and make them feel bad and or envious or whatever. Like it was more like a bad thing. Like it didn't make sense anymore. And at some point, I even got tired of fucking school. And it's crazy, like going from being the best, to not wanting to go to school at all and feeling depressed and like nothing makes sense. So it's crazy how psychology works, but it's crazy, right? Like being the best and getting all the prizes and whatever, and still, at some point, I was like, this shit makes no sense. Like, why am I doing this? So, like, extrinsic rewards, when you're doing it only because of that, it stops being play and becomes work. Like the Tom Sawyer effect, whatever. Like if you're obligated, like obligated, whatever, however you say it, you're obligated to do it, then it stops being pleasant and goes on the side of, you know, I have no freedom. I'm being obligated to do this shit. I don't like when people is telling me to do it. And this actually happened in school, because first it was very intrinsic. Like I remember being 6 year old, a 6 year old, and I just got out from the fucking hospital, and I wanted to do my homework because, yeah, because I wanted to, because it was my responsibility, and it was like I wanted to, like my mom, uh, would tell me like, "Oh, but let me help you. Like you were sick, you were in the hospital," and I was like, "No, this is something I have to do. It is my responsibility. I'm the one going to school. I'm gonna do it." And for a long time, it was like, "Oh yeah, I want to be the best because I'm the best, and I want to get these grades or whatever." But the fact it just goes off, like in the short term, it makes you go for it, but in the long term, in the long run, it just doesn't make sense because it doesn't come from the inside, and the outside effect just loses its power. It's weird. It's weird, but it is what it is, right? It's like it is what it fucking is. And I was also reading that in some cases that can lead to unethical behavior because, well, you have these goals that are being set from the outside. So because you're being obligated to do them, and you have to do them, and you don't give a fuck because it's from the outside, you end up maybe charging people more and doing things that they don't need because you have to, you know, get to that 20,000 a month or whatever that the director of the company is imposing on you. So, you know, carrots and sticks, whatever. It's crazy.